In my past jobs, past life, I was in insurance industry management, and I also directed a nonprofit. I've got a family. I have 2 sons under the age of 4 with a 3rd child on the way. And I'm also a full-time educator and part-time trader here at Benzinga. And so what are we talking about here today? Why am I even here? The simple fact is that our news is simple, fast, and actionable. And you can apply that to all sorts of different trading strategies. So you guys have great coaches here at Cyber Trading University, and I'm really hoping that our tools can supplement the powerful strategies that you're already using. So just again, start your free trial at pro.benzinga.com. And for the next 2 weeks, so even if you start your trial today, you could get this deal for the next 2 weeks. You could save over $500 off of our annual subscriptions. So that's $8.99 a year. So I'll show this again at the end of the presentation, but that's only for Cyber Trading University students. So you can put in CTU 2019 for that. All right, so here at Benzinga, we're all about the news. We've got a bunch of other cool tools, but take a look at all of these types of news: halts, unusual options, block trades, SEC filings. I don't need to read off all of these. You'll see them for yourself. But all of these have the potential to move the price of a stock, to drive the volume that you guys are watching with your level 3 data, and hopefully it can give you a heads up for good stocks to watch. And here's a quick picture of our news desk team. They are the heart and soul of Benzinga, and they are here to be at your service. So if you see anything moving in the market and you're like, why is this moving? Feel free to reach out to us, and I'll show you in a minute here how exactly you can do that from inside of Benzinga Pro, as well as just giving us a call on the phone. All right, this is just an old example of a patent news item that shot this stock up 130%, but I'm gonna go ahead and switch right now to the actual platform so you guys can see this firsthand. So let's see here, I'm switching screens to Benzinga Pro, share, boom. Go ahead, and if someone could just message me to make sure that you guys can actually see this, that would be awesome. So you should see in front of you right here, I've got our newsfeed open with a term in the newsfeed saying stocks to watch. And why am I starting with this? Well, you can see that we have all of our tools here on the left-hand side. There's this toolbar here, starting with newsfeed at the top and then chat all the way at the bottom. And I just know that you guys are looking for stocks that have volume behind them. And lots of times when there are big news items, even in the pre-market or after hours, that can really drive a lot of that volume. So if you want to, during your trial, go ahead and just type in stocks to watch, and you'll see that every day between like 4 and 6 a.m., there will be an article like this that has, you know, potential news catalysts and companies to watch. So that's one place where I might just throw these companies into a watch list. Then there's actually another stocks to watch newsletter that you'll have access to through your Benzinga Pro trial or subscription. And that would be, you'll see it pop up through this blue circle, this chat bubble in the bottom right-hand corner. And you'll see right here, it pops up Benzinga Pro's top 5 stocks to watch Wednesday. So I'm sure you guys recognize some of these from today: Stitch Fix, E-Trade, UNFI. We could go on and on, but I might throw these into a watch list as well if they look good to me. So just want to show you 2 quick ways to find potential movers. And by the way, this little blue button here is also how you could start a conversation with our news desk directly, or you could reach out to support, or you could reach out to me at sales. So this is a great way to interact with the Benzinga Pro team. Okay, so we've got our stocks to watch. Now I'm clicking over to a new workspace here. I call this one movers and watch list. And by the way, you can always edit your workspaces just by double clicking on it. And then I could type in whatever title I wanted up here. So another way that I might find potential opportunities is by going to our movers tool. So if I was opening this up the first time, I might go to movers and then open it up in my workspace. I would click on this and here it would pop up inside of my workspace. Now, movers is a pretty simple tool. You're just looking for which stocks have the most price volatility within a particular time period. So right now we're looking at gainers and losers. You could click on gainers or just losers. And then we could also just say, look at the pre-market for what was moving since the close yesterday. Or we could look at today, saying what was moving during the session today. And then we've got sectors that we can narrow it down by, market cap, or price per share. And you'll see that I made a watch list over here on the right-hand side of my screen. So I would open up my watch list by hovering over the watch list icon and clicking on in workspace. And so you'll notice that some of these are from our stocks to watch articles, and then some of these are from the movers. So I think you guys might have been looking at TSG earlier. You can see that that was some big merger news. So let's say I click into this and it brings up our details tool. And right here at the top, you have this nice "Why is it moving?" headline, a one-sentence summary of why a stock is moving. And this can be really helpful just to let you know right away, is this even because of news, or is it just purely, volatility with no real news behind it? And then I'm going to scroll down here and find out, when did this merger activity first get announced? Well, it looks like as I scroll down, hopefully you guys can see this okay. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit here. So it looks like this first came out on the news wires at 2:35 a.m. Eastern time this morning. And then again at 3:25, and then our manually entered headlines usually pop up starting at about 4 a.m. And you can see there's this nice little sentiment indicator here with 3 arrows pointing up saying this is very likely to positively impact the price of a stock. Now I'm going to click into this headline here and you see blah, 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 lots of words here. But at the very bottom, if I can scroll all the way down, there's this tag that says M&A. That's for merger and acquisition. And this is why our news desk is so valuable. They manually tag different types of headlines so that then you can go to our news feed and filter for those catalysts. So in the morning, if you're just making your watch lists along with the volume that you're watching, you could filter for M&A, and I'll show you a few other types of catalysts here. I'm gonna scroll back up. I think I zoomed out a little too far here. Well, I guess not. But that's just one quick example. And so if I want to watch that in the morning, I just click on Add to Watch List, and then I have my CTU watch list or stocks to watch that I can do right there. And boom, it's in my watch list. Now let's get rid of this so I can see a few other ones here. Let's check out like IMRN. I think this is a sell-off after a big gap this morning. Let's check out that 5-day chart. Yeah, you can see there's that huge gap up this morning. And if I scroll down, once again, you see at 7:11 a.m. Eastern time, it looks like there was an approval for a new vaccine. Again, you've got this article here. And then this one is just for general news. Sometimes you get a more specific FDA tag that if it had to do with the Food and Drug Administration. So I could go on, but you get the basic point, right? So you go to your stocks to watch for some quick tips. Then you go to your movers to see what's moving, and you can add those to your watch list if everything looks good. And now let's get to the Benzinga News Wire. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and close this details tool. You'll notice that I have this with a whole bunch of different pretty colors on here. What do all of these colors mean? Well, I like to highlight different types of categories. So if I click into here, you'll see Puma Biotech reports FDA approved labeling supplement. So I click on that, and what does that have? That has FDA. And then if I have, this purple one, I click on that, that's M&A. So that's helpful because I don't even have to think about what type of headline that is. And then many times I can just hover over and you can see how, what was this one? FireEye. It's up, 4.5% today. And if I zoom in here, you can even see this blue line of the exact point in time when that headline came out. So it was on its way up and the headline came out, and then there was some continued volatility there. So I love these little drop downs because you can see the direct impact of that news item. So let's go ahead and see how you could do this. So on your news feed, you have the search bar at the top. And then you have these filter buttons: sources, categories, sectors, and watch lists. So I'm going to go ahead and click on sources just so you can see those. And under sources, we have Benzinga signals, where you find things like price spikes, block trades, unusual option orders, etc. And Benzinga Wire, which is our curated news feed straight from our news desk. Then you also have GG Press from Japan, partner links, lots of Seeking Alpha type content, and then press releases and SEC filings if you want to take a deeper dive on specific companies, or there's lots of different types of info you can get from SEC filings. So that's where you could add or subtract those sources. Then I'm going to click on categories here. And these are those tags that I was referring to earlier. So look at all of these categories that are not selected. So most of these categories are not included here because I just wanted to show you what it looked like when you really narrowed it down to a few of your favorite categories. By the way, those why is it moving headlines, I'm going to go ahead and add this here because I had this on today and I thought it was so helpful just to have a pulse on the market. You can see all of these orange headlines. These are why is it moving. So look at how many of those there are where our news desk is telling you exactly why stocks are moving. Super cool, in my opinion. So long story short, you could narrow down your news feed by selecting certain news categories. You can highlight them by clicking on, let's say I want to highlight, say like commodities. I clicked on the word commodities, and then I click and drag this rainbow colored bar on the right-hand side. And if I want to include it, now I just check that box and boom, it's included in my news feed. Now, if you deselect all of these, then all of the categories will be included. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Let's just see what this would look like if we have the highlighting, but we do not have it narrowed down. So I click done, and there, you still have the highlighting, but now you have a much higher volume of alerts and headlines on your newsfeed. Two more quick ways that you can narrow down your newsfeed. You've got sectors, so you could just look at a particular sector, or you could filter it down by your watch list. Now, this might be really helpful for you guys since you have a volume-oriented trading strategy. Let's say you only want to watch your watch list. I just click on CTU watch list. There are all of my companies. I click done, and boom, I'm only looking at my watch list. Now, this is including things like option orders and price spikes, all those signals. So if I wanted to narrow it down to only headlines, I just deselect signals from my sources filter. And now I only have the bigger headlines. So you can see how this could be helpful if you just want to sort through all the noise and focus on either your watch list or certain types of news catalysts. Let's see here. It looks like, Bill, I see you wanted to take a look at NEO. I could go ahead and, let's see, is that on there? Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw that. Watch how this updates in real time. I click done. I'm hopping over to my watch list, and I'm just going to type in NIO. So now that's going to be added. And then I go back to over here, and right here you see NIO right there. So wow, quite a mover today. All right, so that is pretty much our category news. Last thing here is you could set alerts for either your watch list or those categories. So pay close attention here because there's two different areas for these alerts. In the far upper right corner here, there's a bell symbol that says alerts. You click on that, and then here are all of those same categories. So let's say if you wanted to know anytime a new FDA announcement came out, you go to FDA, select the drop down, and you could click on one of these so it would make a sound when a new headline comes out, or you could check the box for real-time email alerts. So that's the first area where you can set alerts. Now, area number 2 is back on your watch list. Now, see, this is a different bell symbol inside of the watch list tool. And if you click on that, then you can set a sound alert for anytime a headline comes out on those companies in your watch list. Or beneath it, you can click on these toggle switches for real-time email alerts or an email summary at the beginning and ending of each trading day. So those are the first 2 ways that you can set alerts inside of Benzinga Pro. All right, that's, if you want to know more, there are tutorial videos on our help site for the news feed, or just give me a call. I'll do a one-on-one consultation with you so we can make sure it's set up specifically for your purposes. And I clicked on that question mark in the upper right corner, and then underneath support it says visit help site. So I open up our help site, and then our tutorial videos are the 3rd item on our help site. So you could always, review the material from today's webinar on here, or just give me a call. Hopping back over here. Don't worry, we're not done yet. Just wanted to share that sense. It's sort of like drinking from a fire hose, right? There's a lot of information on here, and it's all about narrowing down this news and the other tools so it's applicable to your strategy. All right, so after the news feed, let's take a look at this calendar. So Josh was mentioning Bed Bath & Beyond earlier, and boom, what do we have here? We have the announcement. It came out since this presentation started, and it looks like they had some positive news on the earnings and some negative news on the revenue. So let's just take a quick look here. Let's click on Bed Bath & Beyond. And it looks like, let's see, it spiked up 1.9% since that announcement. So I think it was down earlier today, but then in the after hours, it looks like it's up since that announcement. So you could find earnings announcements in the calendar tool. And then if I click on this drop down, you'll see there's actually 11 different calendars available here. So you've got analyst ratings, conference calls, dividends, earnings, good old economic calendar, etc. here. And one of my favorite calendars is the analyst rating calendar, because it's just such a clear catalyst sometimes. So look at, there's so many analyst actions, right? But you can narrow this down so quickly to find good opportunities. So if I just click on columns, you can see you can add or subtract columns from your table output, or I can click on filters, and you can filter by any of the variables within those columns. So let's say I click on action on security. So I only want to see upgrades and initiations. And then in addition to upgrades and initiations, I only want to see, well, I guess I can see that these are only going to be buy ratings, but I go to rating and I'll just get rid of hold and neutral. And now there's probably going to be some good news here. So I click on one of these. You see that's up for today. It looks like we might be having some issues with my price quotes here. But basically, you can see that when I narrow it down to certain types of analyst actions, it can be very good news for that stock. And then if I want to reset, just go back over here, and I would select all again, and there, I have them all back there. So this is the calendar tool. This is actually the fastest way to get this information inside of Benzinga Pro. So this updates in real time. So if you're looking for analyst ratings, earnings information, say for earnings, there's not a lot coming out today, but I could click on this date range. And let's say I want to see which stocks are coming out with for the next week here with earnings announcements. And I click back over here. Let's get all of these columns back in here. And you can see that here, our news desk actually confirms the date and time that these are going to be announced for you guys. So if it's unconfirmed, that means we have to go back and make sure that they are indeed confirming at that date and time. And then, see, it looks like, but basically you can plan ahead for your work week to make sure you never miss a key earnings announcement. All right, switching over to signals here, and I'm checking. If there's any questions, go ahead and interrupt me here. I am taking a look at the chat. I'm not seeing any additional questions yet, but I'm just firing through this so you guys can get a flavor of all of what's available here on Benzinga Pro. Now, signals that just came out of beta. So this has been around since January of this year, and we're really excited about being able to offer price spikes. You can see that anything that spikes more than 1% up or down will be on this output here. And so very high volume output, which then you can filter down by adding some filters. But I just want to show you the outputs. Here, your price spike, I'll deselect that. You also have option activity. So for those of you who are interested in unusual option orders, this will show you the strike price, the expiration date. If it's a sweep, that means they have to route it through multiple exchanges or routers. It shows you the volume and the price per contract or price per share versus the volume of open interest, and then any relevant earnings information and a reference price per share of the underlying security. If you want to know more about these, let me know. We have more filter options coming on the signals for option signals as well. Then we have block trades. So lots of times these are institutional purchases or selling, and if it's above the ask or below the bid, lots of times that can be extra bullish or bearish. Some things to pay attention to there. You've got halts and resumes for every stock that's halted. You have opening gaps in the mornings. And then from highs and lows, you can select, I usually like the 52-week highs and 52-week lows. But if you really like that high volume stuff, you could go with day high series or day low series or session high, session low, and that'll give you an extremely high volume of signals there. So if you put all that together, you got quite a few signals here. And then you could filter it down. If I just click on filters, add a filter, I could click on watch lists and filter this down by my CTU watch list. So now I'm only getting it on those companies. Or if I get rid of that, maybe I only want a certain market cap. Let's say like you could do $1 billion and up, or you could do less than 2 billion if you're looking for that smaller cap stuff. So there's a lot of ways to narrow this down. So it's giving you the signals that you want. Then you can click on notifications. This is the third type of notification you can get inside of Benzinga Pro. And you've got desktop notifications, sounds, or a synthesized voice where the computer will actually read the signal to you. Very cool. All right. So moving on here from the signals tool, really quick, I wanted to give a note on Benzinga Pro Audio Squawk. So this audio squawk is so valuable. Lots of professional traders will purchase our whole platform just for access to our audio squawk. And you would access that by hovering over this squawk icon and then pressing play here, this blue button, and then it'll say connected, waiting for audio. Then from about 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., every 5 to 20 or 30 minutes, it'll broadcast the most important headlines to you, so you don't even have to be looking at a screen in order to get that information. So very, very powerful. Definitely check that out and make sure it works for you. All right, let's check out the new screener here. So we're really excited about this screener because it makes it so simple and easy to find stock. Now, I know you guys have really advanced tools for finding, those iceberg orders and volume in the market, but this is just a really quick and easy way to find opportunities. Let's say one way I might use this screener is I could go to technicals and I could say I only want to see stocks that are trading at 5 times their usual volume for the day using this relative volume variable. And so right here, I have quite a few, potential opportunities here. And then, I could add some RSI. Let's say if I wanted to maybe something that's like overbought, maybe, if it went up 30%, depending on the situation, that might be an opportunity for selling. Or let's switch this to less than 30. Once again, if it's oversold, that might be the opposite situation there. So you can see how it's really quick and easy just to add or subtract variables. And then you could also sort by any of these columns, and you can add any variable as a column. So I just click on the columns button. There's lots to play around with here. So you can screen, sort, add columns, and then in the upper right-hand corner here, you can set the candle interval right now for 1 minute, a day, or a week. We're going to add additional time intervals there. You can download it as a CSV, and then you can change the refresh period to automatically refresh every 10 seconds or every minute if you want to. So lots more to come here. You'll be able pretty soon to screen for, SMA crosses, lots of different special situations. So all of that is still to come. And if you guys are looking for anything inside our platform and you can't find it, or you just want to share some feedback with us, go ahead and click on the send feedback button in the upper right corner. And then you can just throw in your name, your feedback, and that goes directly to our entire team. And that will really help us as we're prioritizing the updates to the platform. All right, so last thing here, we've pretty much made it through, guys. I just wanted to show you, we do have a chat, so I know you guys are chatting throughout the day. We also have Benzinga employees and Benzinga Pro users chatting about the opportunities that they're watching. And then last thing I wanted to show you was on the details tool, stay tuned for real-time charting coming out soon, like within the next 2 weeks here. We're going to have real-time charting with TradingView, and I'm pretty sure it's going to have drawing capabilities on here. And say, for example, you could add things like the relative strength index, RSI. You could add, say, like MACD, etc. So you can do all sorts of stuff here inside of the details tool. If you just click on the chart button underneath the price quote. There's also financials, peer companies if you want to do more research, or a calendar just for that company. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch what I'm sharing again here. Any more questions? I don't see any questions right now inside of the chat. Let's see, new share. I'm going to go back to my slide presentation. All right, so as you guys could see, there were lots of ways to find powerful news catalysts within Benzinga Pro. So just some more examples here. You know, you've got strategic partnerships. I didn't really cover how you can just type in these phrases, just like we did stocks to watch. You could type in strategic partnership or say commercial launch. This was a big one. It shot up 350%, very small cap stock. But you get the picture. And we just want to provide a clean experience where you can find that news quickly, combine it with your current strategy, use it to either find new opportunities or confirm why a stock is moving. Here's some additional testimonial stuff from different companies that lots of people use. Just the fact that they use it as a part of their everyday routine, its ease of use, and Warrior Trading likes our squawk. And so just to review, you've got real-time alerts for our news and other indicators, a stock screener, live audio squawk, market moving exclusives. You could also look up fund details to see about that ownership, and then custom news filters. And once again, I want to highlight how we are always available for you guys at Cyber Trading University. So you can send us a calendar invite where I'll give you my Calendly link. We're available on Intercom. That's that little chat bubble in the bottom right corner of our platform. Or you could just give me a call. So you're just one of those things away from direct support with professional traders and news deskers. So here's the sales pitch, guys. Basically, we've got two packages. One is standard, one is premium. It's like $1,200 or $1,700 for the year if you pay monthly. And that's why this is such a good deal. We don't even offer this on like basically any of our sales. It's just for you guys at Cyber Trading University, and it comes with a 2-week money back guarantee. So start a free trial right now. You've got nothing to lose. And then after the free trial, let's assume you take advantage of this great deal. You would still have another 2 weeks to make sure it's a good fit. And if it wasn't for some reason, you get 100% of your money back. And we don't require your credit card in order to start the free trial. So no chance of being let down there. And again, this is all my contact information. The coupon code, again, is capital CTU 2019. I'm really grateful to be on here with you guys today. And I am just checking let's see, I do have something in the chat here that just came up. Awesome, thank you. Somebody threw, yeah, so you've got that pro.benzinga.com/checkout for the purchase page. And then if you do want to just start a trial, you can just go to pro.benzinga.com. I just threw that in there for all of you as well. Any questions? I would love to answer any questions that you guys might have. I kind of zoomed through this because I wanted to make sure you guys could see everything on there today. I'll go ahead and wait here. And while I'm waiting, I'll just maybe go back to the news feed. Let's check out, say, some different types of keywords that we could use. Let's say above ask is one that you could use to find interesting block trades or option orders. Or you could look for, let's open up another one. Let's try below bid. Here's some interesting orders here. And then I'll open up a third one. And let's just try successful trial. maybe some biotech stuff right here. So you can see how easy it is to find certain types of catalysts. And by the way, what's coming up, this is the future of Benzinga Pro. We're going to take all of these variables inside of our screener here, and we're going to apply that to the news feed. So you're going to be able to get news only on a certain market cap stock or only on a certain volume on the stock. So that's the future of Benzinga Pro. That's going to take it to a whole nother level. So stay tuned to that as well. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions on here. So great to be with you guys again. I hope that you guys email me or call me with any questions. Love to chat it up. And I see a question from Chuck. Is there a phone app? So if you look up Benzinga on the App Store, you're going to see a couple different apps, neither of which are a part of Benzinga Pro. You're going to see one for our free site, benzinga.com, which is about to be refreshed. It's going to look really cool, but it's not Benzinga Pro. And then there's another one that might be retired soon. It's an aggregated analyst rating sentiment app built by a third party who partnered with us. So you might see some analyst rating type information on there. But again, that's not Benzinga Pro. So stay tuned. Hopefully within the next year, we'll get a Benzinga Pro mobile app out there for you guys. But until then, it's best on Google Chrome or maybe Mozilla Firefox on your computer. Don't try to use it on Microsoft Edge because apparently that browser hates us. JK. But all right, thanks again, guys. Good luck out there, and we'll talk soon.
Jonathan, thanks for coming, and great presentation. Always look forward to seeing you again. And once again, guys, don't forget to take that opportunity, that coupon code CTU.2019, because like I said, we're going to be using it more and more in the Cyber Group room. Great platform. We need to get that news. Let us know what's going on. And then look forward to seeing you. I'll be on Benzinga tomorrow, so look forward to that. All right. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the evening. See you bright and early, 8 o'clock at the Cyber Group room. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Fausto.